at this school I felt wanted. You know, I can barely get a text back, but this school made me feel like I was such a baddie, like I was the best thing since sliced bread, and that just made me feel good. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys what I looked for in a medical school. So during the interview process, what I wanted from the school, or what I wanted the school to have. I'm also gonna tell you guys which medical school, I don't know why it's so hard to say that, medical school I'm going to, and why I chose that school. So to begin, like, this was all from my own experience. You know, everyone has a different have different experiences. So going in, applying to medical school, and going on these interviews, my mindset initially was just like, I'm gonna go to whatever school accepts me, you know, like, man. But once you realize like your self-worth, and you see that these schools want you, and you're like, I'm a baddie, then it's like you start to formulate a list, like, no, you gotta have this, you gotta have this. You start to be in a position to where you can choose to where you want to go. And I hope that we're all, you know, in that position, in a position to choose. And whether you're applying to medical school this coming cycle, or in a year, or 2 years, 3 years from now, I really urge you to sit down and make a list of things that you want in a school. Because, you know, someone might want a very large class size, other people might want a very small class size, and that's okay. Having a preference is okay. So I really urge you to kind of make a list so you can kind of narrow down exactly the types of schools that you're going to be applying to, and you know what's and figure out what's important for you. So I made a list on my phone because my memory is like this small, and so I'm going to go through this list and kind of tell you guys initially when I started realizing that I did have options. I kind of started to prioritize what was important for me. The first thing on the list is minority. So I wanted a school that supported its minority population. I wanted a diverse school, but not just, you know, being diverse, but a school that was inclusive. You know, diversity is like getting invited to a party or something, but inclusion is getting invited, like, to come dance. Pow! I read that somewhere one time and I'm like, that's so good. But no, I wanted a school that was inclusive to me as a minority. Initially, you know, going into all these interviews, I was like, okay, I want a school with a lot of minority students, black students. And during the interviews, I saw that that really wasn't a thing. So I kind of started settling for schools that were on the bigger side of having minorities. That was what was important for me. And on top of that, it was I wanted a school that had an SNMA chapter with people that I could connect to, people that looked like me, people that maybe we might have similar backgrounds, and people that I could honestly, you know, grow and learn from. So that was a very important thing to me. Second thing was mentorship. I wanted a school that was very heavy into mentorship. A school that, you know, really made mentorship a big thing, you know, really set their students up with mentoring, set their students up with faculty that could guide them throughout the 4 years. Because for me, mentorship is very important. You know, I honestly don't believe I could be here were it not for some of the amazing mentors I've had throughout my 22 years of life. But yeah, I wanted a school with mentors that really cared, that were really passionate. And it's kind of tough to be able to tell, like, you know, if a school is going to be great at mentorship. But, you know, like, talking to other students kind of helped me figure out, like, how easy it was to gain access to a mentor, and how, you know, willing to help the faculty was at each respective school. Third thing was pass-fail. So before going to interviews, I did not know pass-fail was a thing. My undergrad institution only had like A, B, C, D, blah, 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 blah. But I know some institutions have, like, you can choose to have a pass, no pass class and kind of decide like what you want to do, but mine didn't. So going to like the medical school, a lot of the medical students were advising me, like, really look into schools that are pass-fail. I didn't know what that meant. But, you know, later on, kind of finding more about it, I realized that's something I wanted. I wanted to go to a school that was pass-fail because, you know, medical school is hard from what I've heard. I know it's hard. I haven't experienced it yet, but I know it's hard. But, like, you know, and there's an adjustment period. You need kind of like a little wiggle room to figure out how you're gonna study, to figure out what works for you, to not have to worry about trying to make an A or trying to make the highest grade in the class, but you want to be able to just worry about being able to internalize, understand the information, and get as much from what you're learning as you can. So pass-fail, I felt like was something really great that could help me focus more on the material and less on the grade. So I feel like that would really help me kind of alleviate some of the stress that could potentially come. I don't get stressed, so let's hope like med school is the same. You know, I just keep on. But yeah, so I really wanted a school that was pass-fail. Something else, like, well, side note, some people look at schools that have that teach to STEP, and I mean, now that like it probably won't matter because STEP is pass-fail, woo, or like nay, depends on how you feel. But STEP is pass-fail now. So for me personally, I never really looked at like, it's not that I didn't want a school that taught to pass STEP or did or didn't, but it's like, for me, it was like, I feel like pass-fail is a great equalizer. You know, it's like we're all regardless of what school you go to, we're all gonna have to take that test, and like we were all scored at one point. And I feel like you really got the three digits score that you got was the amount of work you put in, the resources that you use. So I felt like I wanted to go to a school that was, I focused more on the environment of the school. Could I learn from that environment? Would I be happy here the next 4 years of my life? Could I be friends with some of these students that were like giving us tours? So that was what I was more focused on, like, I guess the environment. So like the whole teaching the STEP wasn't really a big deal to me. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th thing I was looking for.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Was I wanted an 18-month, like a condensed pre-clerkship, because, you know, you learn how to be a doctor in the hospital setting. You don't learn how to be a doctor by sitting down and reading and like taking notes, and those are very important things. I'm not gonna say they're not important. They're very important. But, you know, just being a physician, like grooming yourself to become a doctor, happens in the hospital. And I don't know much about that because I haven't started school yet. But I wanted a clerkship that was a bit smaller. Yes, it could be like more work, but from what I was reading, and, you know, I was even reading some things about it helping on STEP. If you have some rotations before STEP, it really helps you be able to like put everything together. So I wanted a rather shortened pre-clerkship. And one other thing, I wanted a large class size. You know, some people might want a small class size because they feel like it's more intimate, but I wanted a very big class size because I just love meeting new people. And like, if I don't vibe with some of the people in my class, then I'll vibe with the other people. So it's like, that's how I saw it. I'm like, I have more opportunities to meet people that I actually like going to school with. And just to sum it up, honestly, like, I feel like any medical school you go to, you'll get a great education. You know, there's this antidote or saying, whatever people call it, anecdote or saying, like, you know, what do you call the last student in his medical school graduating class, something like that? A doctor. I think same applies for like, what do you, like, you never really ask your doctor like, oh, what medical school do you go to, or like what blah blah. So it's like any medical school you go to, I feel like you'll get a great experience. You'll learn a lot. So for me, the name wasn't really a big deal. I wanted to be in an environment where I felt like I could grow for the next 4 years, an environment that I felt supported, and like I really just genuinely loved being there. Yeah, so that pretty much sums it up. So I really just wanted to be in an environment that would be beneficial to me, because I felt like, you know, when you're around people you like being around, when you're in an environment that's like very safe, you tend to thrive, and like that's really what I wanted. So now, what medical school am I going to? People do this, like, I don't know if they do this, but what medical school am I going to? Drum roll please. But I'm going to UT Southwestern in Dallas, Texas. Yeah, so why did I choose to go to this school? Why UT Southwestern? Or like, why did they choose me? honestly, let me write. Like, at this school, I felt wanted. You know, I can barely get a text back, but this school made me feel like I was such a baddie. Like I was the best thing since sliced bread, and that just made me feel good. You know, it's very true. People will never forget how you made them feel, and the school just made me feel very good. So just to begin, you know, one thing I didn't know, being first in my family to go to medical school, like I didn't know how intensive these interview days were. It was like a whole day interview. I thought it was really just like, you know, like a job interview. Like you show up to McDonald's, you pull up, they say, okay, what's your name, blah, 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 and then you leave. 30 minutes, easy, finish. But no, it's different. It's like the whole day. And for Southwestern, it was actually, someone just rang my doorbell. For Southwestern, they ruined my video. No, still like, comment, and subscribe and watch this video. For Southwestern, the interview day was actually 2 days. And there was so much that happened in those 2 days that showed me that this school cares about me. You know, I got to have lunch with FNMA, which was very big on my list. I really wanted to be able to join an organization or be part of an organization that had the same value systems that I did. I got to meet some of the faculty there, and the faculty was so nice. They were so receptive to everything I had to say. They really just made me feel welcomed, and we got to like shadow. So that's one thing, like none of the other schools that I interviewed at gave us opportunity to shadow and see how their hospital setting worked, and that was like very impressive to me. So yeah, so that was, and then I wrote some more stuff. One thing that really sold it for me, honestly, was they have this Got You Covered program that I found out when I was there, and it was like for all the underrepresented minorities, they match you with the mentor that, you know, looks like you, smells like, I'm kidding, not smells like you, looks like you, basically looks like you, and that can be your mentor for 4 years, and to kind of help the underrepresented minority students, you know, feel at home there. And again, none of the other schools that I interviewed at had a program like this, and that really said a lot to me because, like I said, mentorship is very important to me. Being a minority is very important to me because that's something I carry with me every day. Like I can't, you know, wake up one day and say, okay, I'm gonna be Caucasian for today and walk around like as Caucasian. I'm black, and like, you know, my race, ethnicity, or whatever, it's very important. It's a very essential part to who I am. So I wanted a school that, you know, accommodated for that, and a school that, you know, made me feel good about myself. And yeah, so the Got You Covered program like really sold it for me. Just the people that I met there, the students there were really cool. I have this stigma of having gunners or whatever that is, but from my experience, that couldn't be farther from the truth. The students there were really cool. And one question that I had in my mind at all my interviews was that, could I be friends with students at this school? Could I be friends with the person right now that's giving me this tour? And for the most part, all of them is like, yes, we could definitely be friends. It was a very fun experience. And another thing is their curriculum. I really like their curriculum. So again, before starting med school, I didn't know what a curriculum, I haven't started. Before the interview process, I didn't know what a curriculum was. You know, I honestly just I didn't know what to think. And kind of seeing how the different curriculums work, I felt like the one at Southwestern was best for me, and it fit my type of learning style. They have a condensed preclinical years, and I really like that. And honestly, just they have a new STEM center. I feel like I'm selling this school. They should like pay for my tuition, all of it. But they had like a new STEM center that we got to tour, and I thought it was really cool. You know, state of the art, everything that you can go in there and like practice whatever. And it was just, I really just felt at home. Also, I'm from Dallas, so maybe that helped. Actually, I was kind of debating like, do I want to be this close to my family? Because like for college, I was pretty far from them. But then it's like, you know, these next 4 years are about to be very different, and it would be helpful to have a strong support system, you know, an hour, 45 minutes, an hour down the road. So yeah, those are the reasons that I picked Southwestern, or at least I wanted to go there after all my interviews. Yeah, like it's a good school from what I've seen, and I'm very excited. I have like maybe 3 weeks until school starts. It's gonna be interesting. Also, I could make a video about like the 9 schools that I interviewed at, how I felt at each of the school. If you guys want to see that, please just comment, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And whatever you guys want to see, just comment down, let me know, and I can make that happen for you. Also, lots of love, positivity, and happiness to all of you guys. Stay safe. Bye.